Welcome back to another episode of Psycosmos, where today we look homeless. So if you judge us and you think that you can't learn anything from two homeless-looking guys, well, joke's on you. Stay tuned. Hey, Hey, thank you for tuning in. If you like stuff, then you should consider getting anything from our merch store. We have Psycosmos mugs and blankies and shit like that. We also have our book, Psycosmos, a synthesis on human history and spirituality. You can stay tuned till the end of the video. We're going to give you a very limited time code, so you can get 10% off the book if you decide to get it. One thing I wanted to talk about today was this whole Elon Musk debacle with Twitter. Have you seen this?
Well, yes, I have. This is quite the situation we have here. It seems like Elon Musk is almost stiff-arming the shareholders of Twitter as well as the company itself.
Yeah. So first Elon Musk buys like 9 or something % of Twitter. In which case, then a few things happen. He expects that 9% sharehold, which is the at the time was the largest stake in the company. He believed that was going to give him certain rights, I guess, but instead what that got him was a position on a supervisory board or something along those lines, shareholder board, which apparently the rumor is didn't allot him much influence or power at all. So in response, it was I think it was Thursday. So sometime Wednesday night, Thursday morning, Elon Musk states that he's going to offer to buy Twitter at a much higher rate. It was like almost $10 over per share. What Twitter's
$54.20, I believe, was the
it was $54, and at the time the shares were like $45.
No, man, it was $54.20.
Ah, thank you. That 20 cents will add up. That is true.
So the reason why I make note of that is because people were saying that this is all just a joke, and 54.20. 420 is a number that he makes jokes of. 420 was in it. Well, okay, so I totally did not see that, but that is true. That's hysterical. So, because he probably smokes weed. He did on Joe Rogan's podcast. Yeah. That's kind of funny. That was definitely the last time Elon Musk had smoked weed, I imagine.
You would imagine wrong. Anyway, so he offers to buy Twitter at this higher rate, which is interesting. And a lot of people feel very conflicted about Elon. A lot of people love him, a lot of people hate him. Of course, that duality goes into anything. If you have a lot of attention surrounding you, look at Donald Trump or Joe Biden. You have a lot of people that love you, a lot of people that hate you. In Joe Biden's case, it's most people hate you, but that's just him. So anyway, Elon Musk, he makes this offer, and so many things happened on Thursday in response to this that I found super interesting. The first thing that happened was the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, and what was the other one? I think it was the Department of Justice. Mm-hmm. They opened a case, or they started doing an investigation into Tesla and Elon Musk because
miraculously seemingly
out of thin air. They just decided to do this. Then, moving beyond that,
Vanguard.
A few hours later, the Vanguard Group, which is probably at this point, if I'm not mistaken, the most affluent public company on the face of the planet. So they're one of the most powerful companies in the world. They own a lot of companies, most of the companies that you probably all know at home. They also own BlackRock, BlackRock basically works alongside with the Federal Reserve, which is who prints our money. So Vanguard Group basically works with the people who create the economy for the United States. They
an offer. They
didn't even make an offer. They ended up buying the resulting majority stock left that they could get. I guess, I don't know. They probably strong-armed some people. So they became the major shareholder and not Elon Musk. So here's a couple different perspectives, right? A lot of people feel like Elon Musk's a freedom fighter. They feel like he's like, this guy that goes on Reddit and sits in his basement like most of the other people who like Elon Musk and, prattle on about how great Tesla cars are and blah, blah, blah. Now, I love Tesla cars specifically, just the model. They look so sleek. They really do look great. I don't know the way I feel about everything having to do with Tesla. But as far as the visuals of the cars, like they look like a car of the future, really. They do, and I think a lot of other car companies copy them. SpaceX, I mean, he's done phenomenal stuff with the rocket propulsion systems that he's been able to create and stuff like that. Because a lot of people don't know jack shit about rockets or anything about space travel. So the things that Musk has done has actually been substantially impressive. Of course, he does come from a rich father who was basically associated with the World Economic Forum, as is Elon Musk himself, and his rich father owned a bunch of emerald mines, which were probably blood mines. But oh well, who cares? That's how Elon Musk basically got his startup funding to start working on PayPal and all the other projects he was working on.
To each his own. I mean, if you got an edge LTU, you're gonna play it to the best of your ability.
And
you can only knock somebody so hard.
And he did. No, I don't knock him for that. But what
you can only criticize really so much.
What it comes down to is a lot of people believe Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, which is just a laughable lie. I mean, that at this point, if you don't understand that there are trillionaire families who have not just one, maybe two, but we're talking multi-trillions of dollars.
No, you're wrong.
They own countries. They use countries like chess pieces in wars, like we're seeing it with Russia and Ukraine right now.
Name one. Name $1 trillion family that you know.
I see. The problem is
he can't do it. Therefore, he's wrong. He's not right at all.
Yeah. Well, if we actually do name some of the families in here, obviously you know about the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, which the Rockefellers are actually just a substrata of the Rothschilds. But there are more families. Cut that part out. Don't put it in there.
Yeah.
That. Anyway,
okay.
name one family. So you have a number of families because actually the source for this comes from the FBI themselves. I think it's from a book by a guy named Henry Macau. He's a PhD, and I think it's something like the Illuminati, the cult that hijacked the world. We have so many sources in this book, almost 500 sources, especially in the second edition, because that's where we were able to flesh out the bibliography. So it's close to 500 sources. I think that's the one. It's the Illuminati cult that hijacked the world. That book actually goes very deep into the FBI they declassified it. They classified it. I'm sorry. They said nobody can know about this. Nobody can. We're not going to let people talk about this kind of stuff. They classified it, I think, in the 80s, and they declassified it a few years ago.
Yeah, a lot of this information is probably even information that could be shared on social media and spread around if social media allowed for it. Now, I'd like to pose the question here to you, Matt. Maybe we could have a conversation about why would a company like Vanguard not want Elon Musk to own, or rather take Twitter private to revamp it to a different style?
Well, I mean, think about this. Just what if this happened? Just the one act of bringing back Donald J. Trump's Twitter and giving him the right to say whatever, well, not whatever he wanted, obviously, but as much as people hate Trump, he's not going to sit there and just type the N-word or something over and over and over again in Twitter. He's not that crass or stupid. You got to give him credit there. But if he had his Twitter back, and he was able to just sit there and go bing, 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 and tweet at
look
people.
at this! Oh, wow, look at this!
I mean, that would cause a nightmare. A nightmare of problems. Because here's the reason why this Twitter thing is such a big deal. People don't know this, okay? Twitter, whether you want to admit it or not, has become the number one platform in the world for news. It is the fastest for news. It is the most used.
Bloomberg
it is where
tweets, journalists use it. I was using it when I worked for a newspaper.
Not even journalists, Dan. CNN, Fox, MSNBC. I mean, of course, naturally, I'm not just talking about when they post a Twitter up on the thing. I mean, these companies dedicate millions of dollars to research teams that sit in little cubicle offices in New York City and LA and all over the world. And they sit there on Twitter, combing through thousands of tweets per minute, and they're looking for data. They're looking for information, anything that's newsworthy. That's how news companies have adapted today to getting their news. They get it from Twitter. That's why this Twitter thing is a big deal. It's not just celebrity gossip, people sitting there. This is how This is how people have found out about CIA and FBI dealings. This is how people have been able to keep up on the COVID-19 pandemic. This is how people have been able to figure out all the bullshit and wade through all that crap. This is the reason why Donald Trump was removed off of Twitter. If you think that Trump did or said anything on his Twitter account by itself to incite him to get removed, you're wrong. Because I know all about terms and services, and I remember when his Twitter got removed. He didn't say or do anything Twitter-wise. They removed his account because they personally didn't like him. They removed his account because they claimed it was a matter of national security. Okay, they'll keep plenty of other, World Economic Forum losers in on Twitter so that they can spout their bullshit nonsense. But they'll remove him because he's sitting there saying things that they don't want, because it's the #1 news platform in the world. That's why he's now trying to create his own. Now Elon Musk is going to... Again, going back to Musk, because we got off of that topic. Musk is not the richest person in the world. Trump is not the richest person in the world. These guys are nowhere close. Nowhere close. Although their money does give them enough protection and power to be able to protect them from a lot of these big families that might come after them if they slip up or if they do something wrong. And these people all know these big families because they know if you fuck up, we're coming after you. That being said, Elon Musk's definitely not the richest, and he basically he's part of the World Economic Forum. So a lot of people are like, oh, Daddy Elon, I love him, Dogecoin, blah blah blah, he's great. Elon has been at the pinnacle point of so many different events in the last few years that it's almost impossible to assume that he's a good guy or that he's like on the side of the people. Right. He's a billionaire. He's got his own motives. I think that he genuinely has compassion for common people. Not that I know the guy. I can't make that assessment like as a character, but as the things he says, the way that he comes off at a lot of his events, if you watch him, he does seem like he's pretty informed. He knows like a lot of stuff. He knows a lot of the bullshit that's going on, and he calls people out for stuff. But at the end of the day, he is unfortunately strapped to an agenda, and if you have money, there's no getting away from that agenda. You're forced to be involved in it, or basically you die. So to some extent, whatever happens with this whole Elon Musk,
you either play our game or they're come after you. You still have to play. We don't care how you play our game, but you have one or two scenarios.
You have one or two scenarios. Okay, you can't have a powerful $1 trillion company like Vanguard buying up stocks in response to Elon Musk. It's one of two things. Either Elon Musk right now is saying, you know what, I have a plan. There's something I want to do with Twitter. There's something that I want to accomplish through gaining power by using Twitter. Okay?
Right.
And the Vanguard group is scared, and they're like, no, we have stake in that. We don't want people to know truth. We want to keep the culture subjective, because Twitter, not only is it the #1 news source, it's also like the biggest cesspool garbage fucking spot on the whole.
Because they don't want you to know exactly what's going on.
Well, also they allow people to say the most heinous things. Mm-hmm. You can't say certain words, which is great for racial slurs and stuff, but like people can't even have like regular opinions. They get removed. But if you're more progressive, which we've talked about that in the last podcast, the poisonous of the progressive ideal of just running the fucking track until the entire world explodes and collapses. Basically what you're seeing with this whole Twitter thing right now is there's more of what people believe Elon Musk is conservative. Okay, so with Elon Musk buying this, they're saying, oh no, this is more of a conservative control over Twitter, which isn't really the case. What it actually is it's more either, again, one of two scenarios. Elon Musk is doing this because he has an agenda, and the Vanguard group probably knows his agenda and doesn't want it to come to fruition. Or here's the second scenario. Elon Musk is buddy-buddy with these Vanguard people because they're billionaires. Cause a fake scene. Everybody is now catching up to grips, especially investors. Investors know who BlackRock and Vanguard are. They know who these powerful companies are. People who are making money, who know what they're doing with their time and their money. They know who these powerful companies are. So Vanguard Group and Elon could be buddy-buddy, and this could be a way of Elon being like, yeah, remember, I'm that marketing guy, I'm the freedom fighter, I'm the rebel, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna say I'm gonna buy Twitter at $50 a stock, and then Vanguard says, no, we're gonna buy it at $60, and then Elon says, no, we're gonna buy it at $70, and then next thing you know, everybody's trying to buy it at $80 a stock. because everybody wants to be like Elon Musk, or everybody wants to get on board with whatever the fuck the Vanguard Group is doing, because, statistically speaking, you copy what the rich people do. And the Vanguard Group has one of the best, spreads ever. So that's what I'm getting at. This could be a forced event, just like a lot of other forced events. This could be that black swan event that Dan Pena talks about, where, we've already seen so many of these black swan events. It wasn't even just one. There's been like so many in the last few months. Everything going on in Ukraine, Russia, everything going on with the digital currency system, everything going on with the ISO 20022, like all this stuff that's going on the underbelly while everybody's like, and I love how Coach Shavy says it, because he does it really well, where he's like, everybody's looking over here, and you really should be looking over here.
Yeah.
Like, there's a quantum financial system being put into place right now. Sure. ISO 20022. Go look into it. Go look it up. I think it'll make you. Well, I can't say it'll make you rich. That sounds too condescending.
I saw news recently too. Joe Biden hired somebody from like Ripple to work on a potential CBDC for the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, so Biden already passed that, or not passed it, but whatever. He signed off on it, where he basically said, yeah, we need a CBDC. Now, I read a little bit of that, so I haven't read the full extent of it, but based off of the little bit of research I did, it seems as though the RFP, or the request for proposal, which is basically what it's going to come down to, the request for the proposal for this CBDC, it says it can basically be outsourced, if I'm not mistaken. What that means is that the Fed doesn't have to create. Yeah, this book really just wants to come at you guys. I'm telling you. Now, well, we've been kind of getting rid of them, so we lost our little stand. Yeah. So we've been doing well with the books, so we're losing our our little stand here. Anyway. So it looks like the Federal Reserve can actually outsource this whole CBDC thing. If that's the case, then they're going to go with Ripple. Now, if I'm wrong on that, and it doesn't actually say that, and I misinterpreted it, which anybody can correct me on that, I totally welcome it, then basically they're going to have to create their own. But see, the way that it works is, they could make their own on the Ripple network and then finagle it somehow. You know what I mean? The reality of it is, though, Ripple is probably going to get heavily integrated into this new quantum financial system, and everything's going to kind of take off from there. And who knows? The sky's the limit at this point.
Right.
But only the people who do know are going to probably end up getting away with
insider trading.
It's basically what it is. So anyway, long story short.
Wait, there's insider trading for cryptocurrency too?
Get a Visa or MasterCard. Download the app Uphold. Go buy XRP.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice, but go do it. Not financial advice. Financial demands. No, I'm joking. Do whatever you want with your money. We've been actually working on the revision of the book, because we had some spelling mistakes. The book had taken like 8 or 9 people to work on from all over the world. We had people from the UK, which was Kelly. We had people from all over the coast to coast of the United States. People in Africa, people in a whole bunch of other countries in Asia, Philippines. They were helping create the book. So naturally, with all those hands on the book, there were some issues. Specifically, if you did get a copy of the book, there are some areas where some hyphens were removed or anything like that. That's now all been fixed. So the second edition is now available on the store. So there are only about 50 or so copies of the first edition in existence now. And that was only after the first few weeks, the last few weeks of sales. So there's
who knows? Those might be more rare one day.
Yeah, they might be collectors. These books actually here, these would be collectors' copies because they're first edition. So they have all the spelling mistakes and it's a little more crude. The second edition's actually been highly revamped, so it is actually a lot nicer now. So that was just a little tidbit about the book. The book's about human history and spirituality, if it interests you. It exposes a lot of secrets of the universe, secrets of humanity. You'll find a lot of answers here about questions like what is the meaning of life, or what do all of the religions of the world seemingly have in common, or what can I expect if I were to build upon my faith as a human individual. Those types of answers are hidden within the text of this book. So go consider getting a copy. The link's in the bio. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought. Tell us what you think about Elon Musk and maybe even your favorite cryptocurrencies, maybe something like that. Tell us what you think about Twitter. Who cares? Just give us any kind of feedback would be great. Go get a copy of our book, Psycosmos, A Synthesis on Human History and Spirituality. Go get woke. Link is in the description down below. If you decide to get a copy on bookbaby.com, use the promo code Third Eye, capital T, capital E, one word, Third Eye. If you use that promo code, you'll get 10% off. The book will be $90 instead of $100. And once again, it is worth the money. If you are on that path of spiritual journey, if you are on that path of trying to understand yourself and trying to understand what it means to be human, if you don't want to be depressed or anxious or anything like that, you want to kind of get more in tune with life in general, get a copy of the book. It'll really help you, I promise. A lot of people are enjoying it so far. You can also get our merch if you prefer to support us that way. You can definitely get the merch. Make sure you go follow us on all our social media. Go check out our new TikTok, Psycosmos Wisdom. Yeah, anything else?
I think that covers it all.
That covers basically everything. Thank you guys for watching. We love you. Take care.